Fix the World podcast with Sam and Katie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fix the World podcast, episode number 20.
20, woo!
They said we'd never get here, and here we are, shoving two fingers up at the world. We did it, guys.
We did it. We made it to 20 episodes.
Oh, it's an unbelievable landmark that we've reached together.
I don't even think El Dorado made it to 20 episodes.
What a show. Should have done. Should have been renewed.
But here we are, in a bunker, somewhere in Liverpool.
In a bunker. And so, before we start, my name's Sam, and I'm here with me co-pilot, Kate.
Hiya, everyone. You alright?
And we are fixing the world. Every week we fix the world. We make the world a tiny little bit better.
But right now we need someone to fix our world.
Our world is falling apart.
It's falling apart.
my headphones.
We've got the world's smallest table right in front of us.
I feel like I'm in Lilliput on this little table.
We're in a recording, what's it called, a rehearsal room.
We're in a rehearsal room for bands.
And there's bands next door. I don't know.
So I don't know what they're doing, but they're
it's
making
like
a lot
the Kerrang festival next door.
It does feel like download is going on outside, and we're
the most square people in this entire building.
We're in a Portaloo trying to record some audios for you guys. And
so if you can hear things in the background, please know it won't happen again.
It won't happen again. And if you hear it and you like it, let us know, and we can maybe find out who it was you were listening to, and you can follow them instead, or not instead, as well as you know. There's a lot of bands. There was a DJ when we were coming in.
Yes.
And I got here about a couple of minutes after you, Kate, and I was like, bloody hell, it's brilliant in here. There's soundproof and everything. And then, obviously, no bands were playing near us. So, whoa! Whoa!
Also, everyone.
And if that hasn't fucking ruined your ears, nothing will.
I'm sorry, everyone. I've got a cold. It's not COVID. It's a head cold.
Yeah.
I've been burning the candle at both ends, and I deserve to feel like this.
It's just in Kate's head, and now my ears as well.
Yes, now Sam's got a perforated eardrum.
So it's all right. I can avoid army service now. Why have you been burning the candle at both ends?
Just went on holiday, didn't I? And then I drank too much, and it's just the tale as old as old. I can't speak. Tale as old as time.
Do you think cavemen used to burn the candle at both ends?
Yeah, but they did it in a different way.
Yeah.
They come in and go, I've eaten a full lion.
I reckon cavemen.
I feel like my arteries are clogging up.
Probably, yeah. But they probably got more sleep than us, didn't they? Because they didn't have distractions. Once it went dark, it was cold. You just got your head down.
Berries and all that to get a buzz, though, didn't they?
Yeah, crazy hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be a caveman. I've got no discernible skills, and I would have been dead within the week, I think. But
I would have just complained.
Who to, though?
Just like, none of you couldn't even speak then, could you? Just like that.
Translate as, I'm going to write a stern letter to the EU.
Why haven't we got cable?
I'm just working on the wheel first. And
I'm going to warn you, Sam, I'm going to sneeze again.
Okay. Just don't do it into the mic and we'll be fine. Oh.
I've got like Heidi Klum, I know Melania Trump eyes just before I sneeze.
Yeah.
Those you're welcome, everybody.
Sneaky looking eyes. This is episode number 20. We're going to be fixing restaurants today, but we'll get onto that in a short while, because I just want to ask you a topical question, Kate. How are you doing for petrol?
I got some on Saturday. I was pleased because I had to cancel one gig on the basis that it was unlikely I was going to get petrol. And then I eventually got petrol, and I phoned the promoter and said, I've got petrol now. And they were like, well, okay, we've had someone drop out of another gig. We've already placed you for this gig, but we've got someone who's dropped out of another gig that you can go to that. So I went to that, and all's well that ended well, and I ended up in Wrexham.
That's a good story, and I think more gigs should be doing that at the moment, where if you're from, the northwest or whatever, rather than travelling all over the place, it's just... I got the train, I was in Nottingham on Thursday, I drove, but that was before it all kicked off, wasn't it? And then I was in Cardiff on Sunday, but they were tour shows, so I kind of had to do that gig.
It's the media's fault. If the media hadn't said we're running out of petrol, nobody would have been an arsehole about it.
No, and I don't think we are running out of petrol, are we? Just the petrol's not in the places it needs to be. But
we're at the mercy of the media.
Well, when it was Grant Shapps from the government said, don't panic, nobody panic, and of course they've been wrong about everything else, so we all panicked.
I don't trust anybody with a name like Grant Shapps.
No, sounds too close to shat.
Yeah. It's just not a name I don't like it.
I'd rather someone called Barry O. Johnson told me what to do.
What's your name? Grant? Grant what? Grant Shapps? You're like, you're not my people. See you later.
There should be more working class people in the government. I've got an idea of a scheme to just like in just get more people who are like just, you know,
Normal.
not given privileged positions and give them the skills and give them the you know, all the things
I mean, they
you
don't
need.
really need skills because the people in government haven't particularly got
Exactly.
the skills. They just got the heritage.
Opportunities then.
Yeah.
But we're veering off course slightly.
Yeah, we're going political, going deep.
We get quite angry when we get political, as a lot of people do. But yeah, so are you recovered from your holiday now? You're back to like normal life and you're okay?
Back to normal life. I'm back in the office tomorrow for the first time in 18 months. I've got to be honest, it's not something I'm looking forward to.
The real office?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got any meetings in?
Well, no, I'll just sit at my desk. But I've not worn a bra for 18 months, viewers, listeners. So I don't know how that's going to go and work.
I've been wearing nothing but bras for the last 18 months, so it's nice to take them off.
Probably even more reason to wear one now for everyone, to be fair. After overindulging.
It's weird when you go back to things that you've not done before because, like, there's always, like, a short honeymoon period when you're like, oh, my God. Like, the first time when I was off, when I had COVID and then I came out of the house again and, guitar solo in the background, I was able to go and pick the kids up from school. And I was like, I was walking down the street and I was just saying hello to everyone and just like, just anyone I could see.
Made everyone kinder, didn't it?
For a short while.
I just think that, and sod's law, for 18 months, for over 18 months, I haven't been sick. Even when I had COVID, I wasn't sick. I just lost my sense of taste and smell. And then the day before I go back into the office, I get a head cold.
Yeah.
Bullshit, isn't it?
It's a scam, man. It's a scam. So, what are we fixing this week, Kate?
This week we're fixing restaurants, guys.
Restaurants.
We were going to call it Sam and Kate Fix Eating Out, but we felt like that title was too...
It's a bit provocative, innit? I did feel like it would look...
tacky.
I don't think iTunes would approve of the title.
No, and we may have got listeners and questions that we weren't prepared for.
Maybe we would have got listeners that we didn't expect or wanted, maybe. Or maybe...
It might have been a laugh.
Might have created a new fan base, but it's the same subject anyway, restaurants. What are your best and worst restaurant experiences? Can you think of them?
Well, I went for a roast dinner on Sunday. I won't name the restaurant. It's a very popular one, not far from where I live. Everybody raves about it. And I went, and it said bottomless gravy. I had to ask for extra gravy. That was number one.
Ooh.
Number two, 4 tiny roasties on the plate.
What?
I mean, it did not go down well. I was livid.
That's shocking.
I think if you're going to go for a roast dinner, it's got to be at least as good as the one that you can cook yourself, and this was nowhere near.
That's a rule me and my wife have for hotels.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
You should never stay anywhere shitter than where you live, and you should never go out for food that's worse than what you make yourself.
No. So, I mean, it was nice. I ate it, and it was, it wasn't horrible. I just was very disappointed. I was expecting better.
Disappointment's one of the worst feelings you can have at a restaurant. Like,
do you get FOMO when you and Rachel will order something? Does she always order better than you?
She's got a good eye for that. I tend to order the stuff that I've had before, which I know makes me a dead boring person.
Yeah.
But I just know that I'm going to like it. And if I'm going to like it, I'm going to enjoy the meal. And it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? You're throwing the dice. And also, I don't feel like there's a problem if even if there's 4 of you and you all order the same thing. People think it's weird if there's 2 of you and you go, oh, you're getting the steak as well. We can't both get the steak. Why not? We're not sharing food.
I try and order something I've never had before.
Do you?
And then Mick always orders something he's had before.
Right.
And then he always gets FOMO when he sees my plate in front of me. And I'm smug.
And then does he come on the beg for some little bits?
I always offer him it, to be honest, because I can't look at his little face.
Ah, like a puppy.
His little sad face.
His little sad hungry face, like a Dickensian pauper.
Watching me salt and pepper prawns or whatever, and he's there with his chicken burger or whatever.
Chicken burger. Please, sir, can I have some prawns?
What's your worst experience in a restaurant?
I've had so many bad experiences in restaurants, but the thing is, I love a really bad experience in a restaurant. I just think it's brilliant. That's the thing. When it's disappointing, that's when you're like, it's a shame. When it's absolutely bollocks, it's a story. So when Groupon first came out,
oh yeah,
Rachel went through this phase. It was before we had kids. Pretty much every week she'd get a Groupon coupon for somewhere, and she said, "I've got us this you get a 3-course meal, you get a massage, and then you go skiing, and it's £3." It's like fucking hell. So you go, And it was always, once you start to realise the system, it was always at restaurants who were like struggling for business.
Yeah.
So they do these Groupon offers and you'd end up with a packed restaurant, but nobody there paid full price. And therefore the staff didn't have any value for what you would, as a customer, because they knew you were never going to come back. You'd only actually pay £3. So we went to one, and it was a steakhouse in town. And I think it was called New York Steakhouse, and it's not there anymore. And we went in there, and it was chocker. And there's people at the bar already going, been fucking here for 2 hours, and we just arrived. We're like, oh my god! And they put us on a table. There was 2 students on the next table, and one of them had his head in his hands. I was like, "You're all right, mate," because everyone was talking to each other. And he went, "We've been waiting for 3 hours. We haven't had our starter yet."
Why are they still there?
Exactly why are they still there?
Because they bought the Groupon voucher.
They paid £3, didn't they?
That's the thing. They've got you over the barrel because you pay for your voucher. So you're like, I'm going nowhere.
Oh. And then we got chatting to other people. And I mean, after an hour or so, we still hadn't had any food. So then we were going like, "Oh, can we get some drinks?" And they just kept bringing drinks. So we were just getting absolutely leathered, thinking we're not going to pay for any of these because they're not going to bring the food, and we're going to complain, and then we're just going to get everything for free. So I must have had a couple of bottles of wine, and then this barmaid came over, and she was like, I'm really sorry, it's going to be like another half an hour or something. And Rachel said, "Can we have the manager? If there's a bill, I want to speak to the manager, and if there's no bill, then that's fine." And she basically sort of like broke down crying, this poor girl.
Oh.
She was saying everyone had been horrible in the kitchen. So then we got another bottle of wine, and we got to we had a great night just chatting with all these people on this table. None of us got any food, and then we never went back, but it was fucking brilliant.
Oh.
It was a great night out.
The other week we went for a really fancy meal because it was my fella's birthday, and it was like it was like MasterChef kind of food.
Right.
You would foam this and do that, and so he's a meat eater. He likes a chicken wing. He likes chicken on the bone. I cannot bear to watch because he's like a velociraptor. It's like and it's disgusting. I can't even be in the same room as him while he eats KFC because it's not. I don't want to hear anyone crunching like tendons, and that's what happens. So we're in this really fancy restaurant. It was like a late lunch, a fine dining experience. And he saw it at the start and it said chicken wing. And he went, "I think I'll get the chicken wing." And my heart sank. I'm like, we're sat here, it's fancy, we're dressed up dead nice, there's lots of fancy people about, and he's going to sit there gnawing on this chicken wing. But then it came out and it was all deconstructed. So the chef had obviously to take all the meat off the bones, and it was just in this little this little tiny circle. I felt so sorry for him because he was probably expecting some nice chicken wings, and he didn't get it.
He probably wants that moment of just attacking it like a carnivore, doesn't he? And
but you know when it's like, it's fancy but small.
Yeah.
And you go, "Oh no, I'm dead full," because it's so rich. But really, like, I will definitely go to Chippy about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Hey mate, have you got any Warburtons to go with this? I used to have bread with everything when I was younger. Just bread. I used to have like pasty sandwiches and pizza sandwiches.
Oh, a pasty sandwich. I mean, that is legit old school.
Old school.
Haute cuisine.
You've talked about bringing like an old school new style restaurant with like Frey Bentos, and you could do pasty sandwiches.
Pasty sandwiches.
Like,
deep fried pasty sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Make the pasty sandwich, dip it in batter, deep fry it. Sell it in Hoxton for £25 a go.
They fucking love it in Hoxton.
Oh, you want to taste this pasty batter?
Yeah, the other Groupon thing we had was because I do like those fine dining ones. Like now and again, I suppose like I prefer quantity over quality. Or let me rephrase that. I like a little bit of both. So I don't like it. I mean, it's nice now and again to have those little fancy ones like you just talked about. You get the little thing, and it's like there's that like 6 by Nico, isn't there? Where they do like
I love that.
Yeah, that's nice. So they'll do like a version of a classic meal. So you might have like pasty sandwich.
My cousin is one of the head chefs for 6 by Nico, and he's been all over the country, like training up chefs in each of the restaurants.
Brilliant.
So we went to the opening of the first English one in Manchester. We went to the press night.
Oh, great!
And it was so fancy. It was like theatre.
I bet it was.
It was so cheap though. It's bringing like that kind of food to the masses.
Well, that's it.
I appreciate that.
And then they do the wine pairings, so you get wine with your. Because I just normally just order wine I like, but if you get like a different bit of wine with each like course that you get, you do feel like a Roman emperor.
It just makes me feel like a pig though, because it's like 100 mils of wine with each course. I like a wine, and that's gone in like 2 gulps.
Yeah, you got to sip it, haven't you?
Sip it, and you've got to like be a different version of yourself.
You
You've got to
can't.
be a better version of yourself in those places.
Can you be a better version of yourself temporarily though? Because I mean, it's hard, but
It is hard.
I
but,
find it really
yeah.
easy to be the worst version of myself. I find I slip into that quite easily. And I'm starting to suspect if that's just the real version of myself, to be honest.
I tell you what I hate in terms of dining. Carveries or any kind of restaurant where you have to go and serve yourself.
Okay.
I've got a real problem with that.
Why is the problem?
Because I want to just sit there. I can serve myself in my own house.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to
understand.
take a plate and queue up like it's school dinner. Even though I've had a carvery and I enjoyed it immensely because I'm a greedy bitch and there's loads of food that you can have. But I don't like walking around with my plate. Like, I don't know, like I'm at some like funeral or whatever.
Funeral?
And then when you go for carvery, you can have as much of anything else that you want, but you can only have one slice of each meat.
Yeah, they should change that.
That needs to change.
Yeah, because otherwise you just end up with like 9 Yorkshire puddings and 1 bit of chicken.
But I do
That's not
admire
nice.
it because I struggle to cook a roast for more than 4 people. It's hard work, lad.
Oh, it's industrial action in it, the way
Yeah.
you do it. I quite like those carvery ones though. Like, I love the buffet thing on holiday. In fact, when our holiday was
It's like
moved back,
different on holiday, isn't it?
very different, because you
Rules
basically
change.
you're browsing, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're putting stuff on your plate, you don't know what it is. You just go and I'm going to try a bit of this and a bit of that. And when we nearly, our holiday from 2020 got rolled over to 2021. We didn't end up going because of all the green, amber, red bollocks. But we were about to go, and one of our questions was, is it buffet restaurant still? Because I don't want to have to say to some poor waiter, hey mate, get me a bit of that and then a bit of that, and I don't even know what that is. We'll put loads of that on and I'll probably just eat a bit and then leave it, because that's what I do when I'm just helping myself.
Yeah.
When you're helping yourself, you just don't care as much.
When Sam was little, we went on holiday to Greece, and it was an all-inclusive place. It only just opened. I've never been all-inclusive before, and bear in mind, for the little kids, all-inclusive is just like ice cream and chips, as much as you want of everything. And so I'd go up with him every night while he picked his food, because he's only quite small, and he's always quite adventurous with his food. So this night he went, Mum, can I go up and pick my own food? I don't want you to come with me. And I was like, that's absolutely fine. And I'm sat there going, he's going to come back with all kinds of shite here, chicken nuggets, burgers, blah, blah. And he come back with this little tiny plate, and on it was deep fried octopus, sprouts and carrots.
Haute cuisine?
I went, sprouts and carrots? He went, I just fancied some sprouts and carrots. And I was just like, oh well, at least I can trust that you will eat well.
That's amazing. Not many kids would do that. I did that once, but I thought it was macaroni cheese and it was cauliflower cheese.
Oh.
And I was just so disappointed, because who likes cauliflower when you're 7? I thought, macaroni cheese is my favourite, and I piled it on. I went back and my mum was like shocked, and then I just had a little bit and then just...
I also don't like Chinese buffets.
No, I mean, the quality on them can be so patchy. Jesus.
I don't like it. And also I don't like these South American style restaurants where they'll come up with all different versions of meat. So you can go to the salad bar
I like
and help
that.
yourself to all kinds, and then they give you a little card, and if it's green it means you want food, and if it's red it means you don't want. And they come round with, and they have like a big thing of sausages on a big sword, and they're like, I'm like, go away with the sausages, come back when you've got real meat. And then they come back with like chicken, and then they come back and they bring the beef and the lamb last. So they know, because they know if they bring that first, you're going to have the good stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. I don't like the turning over of the card.
should have
I
a
feel
colour.
like I'm begging.
They should have a colour, which means I'm full, but I'm a greedy twat, so please keep the meat coming.
It's not somewhere you could go on at a first date.
Not if you wanted a
Not
second
if you
date.
want a second date. Same with tapas.
Oh, tapas is a bad move on a date, because it just goes everywhere.
It's not that. It's if you're an inherently greedy person, such as myself, to go on a first date with someone who suggests tapas, that's too much of a stretch for me. I can't sit there and be like, oh no, you have that meatball, because I can't. I want that meatball.
I'm having that meatball. That's
And
good.
I also don't like when you get these sharing platters and there's 2 of you and it's an odd number of everything.
Oh, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh my god, I feel like so mad about this.
Do the maths.
Like, in the end, I'm like, let's just cut that spring
Yeah.
roll in half. Like a really petty bitch.
Or take one before they count them. That's what I'd
I'm
do.
sorry, everyone. Sorry, everyone.
What about Yo Sushi? I haven't been there for years. You know, Yo Sushi, where they have the conveyor belt
I've
and all the
never been
food
there.
comes out. The gimmick is great, because you feel like you're doing something really random, but
It's too much jeopardy for me.
there's a lot going on, and then there's like, my wife's got a nut allergy as well, So that gets in the way of a lot of meals, like, you know, because we have to like check for, you know, what's in the dishes, and is there any nuts in the kitchen, and yeah, so it's like it's like sometimes they come back and they go, oh, there's no nuts in that dish, but there are nuts in the kitchen. It's like, well, that's all right, you know, because you can't be too.
So it's not like a bad one.
She will die if she has a nut, like, unless she gets the shot. In fact,
do you have a shot with you when you go anywhere?
Yeah, we have this like EpiPen. So like, we had the Pulp Fiction moments when we went on holiday for the first time, and we've been to Cyprus, first night in Cyprus, first night together on holiday, new couple, dead exciting by the beach, eating our food, and she says, I'll just go and get us some dessert. She comes back with this apple pie, and we just, you know, one spoon sharing it, looking into each other's eyes, fucking vomit inducing when you think about it, but when you're in the moment it's wonderful. And she just says, oh, I think I've eaten a nut there, I think there's nuts in this. And I was like, oh, I knew she had a nut allergy, but I was like, oh no, I'll get you some water. She went, no, we need an ambulance. I was like, what? So we had to go and phone an ambulance, and the I don't think the hotel staff really understood what was going on. So then I had this EpiPen, I was trying to like jam it into her arse, but I didn't know where to put it, and I looked on the EpiPen, it was like 6 months out of date, so I thought this might do more damage than good. So then this ambulance came, got shipped off to hospital. They have to give it all these like IV drips and stuff.
Oh my god.
We spend the night in hospital, wake up the next day, had some toast, she was fucking golden, went to the beach, had a great holiday, but yeah, nearly died on the first day. So after that, I've been very, very, I got overprotective for a while. I was like, gotta check there's nuts, don't, you know, that might have had nuts on it, or that spoon might have been near someone who once thought about nuts back in the 80s. Oh my, no,
I couldn't. That would make me so nervous.
Yeah, I think because I've gone through that a couple of times, it's like, yeah, you just get used to it, but as long as you ask. But then some people get annoyed that you're asking about allergies. I know it can be annoying, but it's also, if someone's like gonna die because they eat a kiwi fruit, then they need to know if there's kiwi fruit in the food.
I know. I watched this program once called Kavos Carnage, and it was about this medical centre in Kavos.
Kavos Carnage.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It's a reality show. It was about this medical centre in Kavos where like all like little drunken kids who went on the first holiday turned up and whatever, and this lad turns up and he cut his foot. So the doctor's about to give him like a needle, and he went, "Are you allergic to anything?" And the lad's bladdered and went, "Yeah, cats."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's okay, sir, because you've had no pussy this week. That's amazing. Kavos Carnage, what a show. That's the show me dad would like. He'd love that. He's retired now and he just watches weird reality shows.
Yeah, all reality shows are weird now, aren't they?
They all are.
Speaking of reality shows, there's there's MasterChef. I had to stop watching that.
I haven't watched that since Lloyd Grossman.
No, Greg Wallace spoils everything he's in.
Is he the bald fella?
Oh, no, I can't. He's got a big mouth. I don't like the way he eats things off a spoon. It's so deliberate. It's just disgusting. It's like you just eat with a spoon. He goes,
oh no, oh
God.
Oh
no, it's really
no. Making me wretched thinking about it.
It's no, so that spoils it for me. But I like seeing fancy restaurants and what they're all about.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Like, I like to know that these places are there. Places like pop-up restaurants as well. I've not been to many, but I like to know they're there. You know, they pop up for like 3 months in like a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, but what are they doing the rest of the year?
I don't know. I don't know how these things survive. How do you make money?
I don't like also, there's lots of fixes for restaurants. When you go to a restaurant and you have a table for two, but you're on a bench and it's a long table and there's other people on the same table. Please give me some space.
It's a bit weird, that, isn't it? Yeah.
I may as well be on a first date with the whole table. It puts me off. I can't be the real, me true self.
No, you can't. Imagine a couple on the first date and then like you and Mick or me and Rachel on the other end, just like, you know, way deep.
Yeah.
The different conversations going on between like, so how many brothers and sisters have you got? To like, you gonna fucking eat that or what can I have?
No, yeah. Oh, let me tell you this funny story about a restaurant. So this lad I used to work with, he was been with his girl a while, and they went for a meal in this restaurant that they always went to, and he was going to propose to her. So they sat there and then having the meal, and he ordered like a bottle of champagne and all that, and she was like, spoil him, and he was like, well, you know, I've been paid, whatever. But really he was planning on proposing to her, and just before he went to propose to her, the lad on the next table proposed to his girlfriend. So he was just like, you twat.
So did it delay?
No, in the end he just went, I was going to propose to you and they've just spoiled it for you. And then she was just like, oh my God. And then he said the other couple on the other table were just like, oh, you're already doing that because he was like, I've got the ring, what are you talking about?
And then someone on the next table went, oh, I was going to do that.
Yeah, like Spartacus.
Yeah. I'm Brian and so's my wife. That's amazing. You mentioned Chinese restaurants before, buffet restaurants. A nice Chinese restaurant, the difference in quality between that and the buffet. The first time I went to a Chinese buffet restaurant was on September the 11th, 2001.
Oh, nice.
Which was quite a momentous day for many reasons. But for me, I was just started university and I went out and got absolutely smashed. And this was in the afternoon. Went to this Chinese restaurant.
Was famished after a tenner at the time.
Honestly, all the fear was just making me really hungry. So we went to this Chinese one, and the food, it was like £3 each or something. The food was just disgusting, horrible. Even though I was a student and I was drunk and the world was about to end, it was just horrible. And at one point, the woman behind the little serving, where they put all the dishes, like the hot plates or whatever, she was stood behind there. Maybe I think she must have been like topping up the chicken fried rice or something. She just suddenly started stamping on the floor, going, get it! And then she looked up at everyone and smiled.
The creature.
And I was like, what was that? And I still had another 3 plates. I was pissed.
Were you drunk? You'll eat any old shit?
Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
What's your favourite cuisine?
Depends on the mood. I don't think it could be pizza. Just for like the sheer...
The comfortness of it.
Comfortness, yeah. Just
comfortness.
It's like it's like a hug in a dish. Comfortness.
Mine's Indian. I love an Indian, mate.
Oh, I like an Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more, I hate it. I don't like Chinese. I find it very dull.
It's a bit samey, isn't it? Whereas Indian, you get the different naans, you get the different, like a garlic
different
naan.
Rices.
Oh, yeah.
Keema naan, keema rice.
Oh, God. I like going for a curry on my own. And I nearly did that in Cardiff. And I do that sometimes after I've done a gig. Like if it's a tour show on my own, I'll go for a curry. And I'll have me headphones on. I'll have like 2 or 3 pints and just sit on my own in the restaurant. Like 11 o'clock at night.
With your headphones on?
With my headphones in. Not these headphones. Don't speak to him. He looks like a weirdo. Me little earpods, yeah.
No, I like the music they play because it's like it's like Kylie songs but Indian.
I like it.
It's like the lovely, the cymbally music, and that just feels dead authentic.
I should be so lucky playing on a sitar.
It just feels nicer.
I know what you mean. I love when like certain cultures they want to play their culture's style, but they want to play Western music.
Yeah.
So you've got like Chaz and Dave, but like played on a like Japanese instrument.
I'll imagine that.
I couldn't think of a Japanese instrument. The Japanese kazoo.
I am jealous of you for saying that you could just go for a curry on your own, because I wouldn't dream of walking into an Indian restaurant on my own and having an Indian on my own. I'd just feel so self-conscious.
That's probably the privilege of being a white male.
Yeah.
Just feeling like you can do anything. That's just... But to be honest, it's taken me years to get that confidence. Because the first couple of times you go in a restaurant on your own, you do feel like a bit of a biff and everyone's looking at you.
I don't even like going into a pub on my own to wait for my mates to order a drink. I feel dead awkward.
Yeah. I think it's different for men, isn't it? Men get away with all sorts.
Men get away with all sorts.
Men have ruined the world and we're getting away with it. I'm having curries on our own. But I do love that. And sometimes the whole restaurant's packed, but I'm just in my own little moments with all me naan breads and me dips and all me food and 2 or 3 pints of tiger beer. Oh,
I feel like restaurants have started to sexualise food too much though, with the dirty fries.
Slutty pizza.
Exactly. Like, just tell me that fries covered in cheese and bacon is fine.
Dripping.
You don't have to call it dirty fries. I feel like I'm doing something illicit that I shouldn't be doing.
Isn't that part of the fun though?
Give us some dirty fries.
I think KFC started it with finger licking good. I think that was part of the problem. And M&S as well with those adverts. That,
unnecessary.
This isn't just food. This is sexy food.
Yeah, this isn't just a fish cake. This is a...
Fanny fish cake. Those dirty fries get quite adventurous though, don't they? Like some of the stuff on them.
They do, yeah. I'm 100% backing that up. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that cuisine now seems to be getting more popular where like why deep fry a piece of chicken when you can dip it in egg, butter, popcorn,